All right, here we are. Welcome to Instagramorama on this last Tuesday of August. Summer is finally winding down. I cannot believe that we're going to be heading into September next week. So, welcome everyone who is here tonight, and I'm just going to give a big shout out to Vicky and Rick and Tina. And guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to our webinar here, our little hangout. So if you want to go and put that up on your Facebook fan pages and tell them that we have a little Instagram training if people want to hop on board. I'm going to try to keep it to about 30 to 35 minutes today because we do have a great MLSP Google Hangout tonight with Diane Hockman. For those of you who, you've been probably hearing, Diane's launched a new course called the Guru Code, and she just gave a huge special announcement where she's literally made an offer you can't refuse. So if you haven't done the Guru Code yet, I'm sorry if my camera got a little blurry there. My Cocker Spaniel Zoe decided to knock the kickstand out underneath the desk there a little bit. And but what we're going to do is tonight she's bringing out her husband Larry, and he's a 25-year counselor. He's a licensed counselor, and he's going to be showing off some mind techniques, mind exercises to help you overcome barriers. Oh, Zoe, you're being all overly affectionate now. Settle down. My Cocker Zoe loves to be on. She loves to see herself on the computer, but maybe at the end, Zoe, I'll have you come out and I can show you off. But right now, like I was saying, so at 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to be doing, or Diane's going to be doing this Instagram training. Now, today is going to be really fun. We're going to be talking about content and images. Now, a lot of people say, well, images don't count as content, but here on Instagram, I like to refer them as content because you're sharing part of your story, and you're sharing also who you are. You're kind of giving a little bit more of an element. You're branding yourself in people are seeing a different side to you on Instagram, where it's a little more informal, a little more playful. And so we're going to talk about some parameters today when you're doing content. Now, I've seen some people on Instagram with some companies where they're doing things with images that almost look rather spammy, and they post them so much that it borderlines on a little bit of lewdness. And and right now they're not being trained the right way. And it can land, that company could wind up getting into some pretty big trouble with what they're, with people doing their Instagram images. So tonight we're going to be talking about tasteful ways to do Instagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my slides. Where's my slides? Okay. I'll take that off. Sometimes these sites don't show. Okay, why is Logitech showing up here? I apologize, guys. Sometimes webinars on air does not always. Here we go. Okay, so we will start the share here. And I'll make sure. Okay, the slide is up. So here's what we're going to talk about. For those of you who are brand new, maybe watching on the Google or on the YouTube streams, is that what Instagramorama is it's a weekly webinar series where we're going to talk about subliminal tricks using Instagram that make people fall madly in love with your images and buy your stuff. Now, eventually, we're going to move beyond Instagram, and as time permits, I might be talking about things with Pinterest or Snapchat or Path. There's a lot of other image social networks out there. And so as we kind of learn and master more of Instagram, hopefully in the coming up in the fall, we'll be looking at some other social media networks that use images. So ultimately, what we want to do in these weekly webinars is you want to learn how to use Instagram to build your brand, create a raving fan base, and to sell more stuff. Now, the big thing to understand is for those of you who are brand new, and you can always catch the webinar replay, is to make sure you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/digitalmarketingdoc. And the Instagram-orama training is the second playlist on my YouTube channel. So you will see all the playlists there with all the episodes so you can get caught up. If you're brand new, I may suggest, watch tonight, but then you're going to want to go back and re-watch, excuse me, those previous 5 episodes so you kind of get an idea of what you need to be doing to make sure that you're setting your Instagram up the right way. Now, like I talked about today, we're going to be talking about content, and I'm going to do a quick recap from last week, and we're going to talk about an Instagram tip. April Marie Tucker last Tuesday night gave a phenomenal Google Hangout on some new things she's doing with Instagram. We clarified a lot of things as far as, with using Instagress and hashtags, how you keep your comments. If you are in My Lead System Pro, if you go back into the training library, you can access the access last week's session. If you're a university member, you can access it for 3 weeks. If you're a mastery member, you automatically get the library, so you can just look for the date of, I believe it was 8/19. 8/19 was the date for last week's Instagram Hangout with April Marie, the Tuesday night Hangout. So let's talk about last week. We were talking about Iconosquare, and Iconosquare is metrics for tracking Instagram results, and you want to think of it as like your Facebook insights. And you can, on Iconosquare, they have things where you can add widgets to, or social media buttons to your website. I have an Instagram widget that I added to the sidebar of my blog, and that helps. There's a lot of conflicting reports. Like, I know Ray Higdon says don't put social media icons on your blog. To me, I like to put the Instagram images on, just because to me that's part of my brand, and I like, and people love images. People absolutely love their images. And you want to, now I didn't get a chance this weekend, unfortunately, to set up, there is a Facebook app to add Instagram images to your Facebook fan page. And they have that on Iconosquare, and they have the detailed instructions on there, so you can set up an app. You can set up like a little tab on your fan page, so when you are uploading to Instagram, it'll automatically go to your fan page. And one other thing that's really great about Iconosquare is that you can converse with people who respond to your Instagram comments or images. Okay? So that's a quick recap there. And then now we're going to talk about, these are kind of 2 Instagram tips of the week. Now the first one here, this is an image. April introduced this app, and I absolutely love this. This is a really quick way if you want to make apps or your images really quick on your Instagram account. It's called Studio App, and in a minute here I'm going to kind of show it here on my iPad mini. So basically, it's a free app. You can get it for free, and then there's a pro version. But what it does is that it allows you to create some pretty cool images that you can use, and I'm going to show that to you right now. So I'm going to bring back the screen here, and hopefully you guys can see. Hey, Katie. what you can see here is this is what the Studio app is. Hopefully it's going to come in a little clearer. And you can choose different topics. So they have one here for, I'll just pull up one here that's, oh, Zoe. It's okay, puppy love. I know you want to be on the computer, but you will come on later. My cocker Zoe, ever since she was a puppy, she loves watching YouTube and things on the computer and videos. So I have to make sure that I get her. Let's see here. I'm going to find. Let me get one here really quick. So they have. Okay, they have one like, I'll pick up one here for Faith, so it's going to load. And then basically what you do, well, this is almost too big for my hands, is you can kind of pick an image, and then you can customize it. So you can do, I'm just going to pick one right here. And then it says down below you can remix. And then what you do is you can change the photo on there. So if I went and I picked another photo, let me see if I can find a photo here. Excuse me. So you can see here, I can add another photo, and then I can go in and I can change if I like the quote or the statement that's on there. I can. Sorry, honey, that's enough. And I can sit there and then I can change the colors, and it's really nice. So if you're kind of looking for something on the fly, this is one of my favorite apps, and I've been using it all week. I do have to say though, there's a tiny little bit of a learning curve, but once you get it, I mean, I've had more likes on these types of images on my Instagram and even on my Facebook than using WordSwag. And WordSwag was just huge with me, and that's another one that I love to do. So that's one way. That's one tip. The other tip that April taught me, and this is really kind of cool, and I wound up getting more leads with this, is putting a call to action in the I'll bring it up here. Bring it up on one of my photos here. If you look up here, I'll try to put it where I can see. If you look at the top right below my name there, you can see where it says check my bio for free Instagram training. What that is I'm activating what's called the add to photo map, and then I click on name this location, and I put a little call to action there, like click on my bio to get free Instagram training, or if I'm doing an image where I'm promoting an event, I'll say click below to register for the event. So you can put specific call to actions. Now it's not going to take them to a registration page. So it'll show up where you're, some people don't like using this. I've heard some people tell me on Instagram they don't want, people knowing the exact location where they're at. And that's fine. But for some people, I mean, I have not had a problem with it so far. And people, when I have that check my bio, I can wind up getting, 3 to 5 leads just by adding that simple call to action right up on the top there. So you just want to make sure that you're clicking on that add to photo map, and then you type in what your simple call to action is. You don't want it too long, just something really short, like click on my bio for this training, or like I said, click on my bio to the registration for training webinar with your company. I've done it for like the MLSP morning wake-up calls. I'll say, make sure dial in, and I'll put the number at the top there too. And then that way, people, you know, because when they look right down below, they see my username, and all of a sudden their eyes go right to that, where if you have a catchy headline, they're going to immediately go check that out before they look at the image. And that's why it's so powerful. All right, so with that said, okay, we are going to go back to our Instagram training. But first, before before I get into the content, anybody have any questions right now with what I've talked about? Okay, looks like everybody, I'm not seeing anything come up on the chat. I know that for some of you who are brand new, when there's a delay like this using the Google Hangout platform, there is a delay in the chat, that the comments that come up in the chat. So if you hear just some real quiet, here, that's just because I'm waiting for the chat to refresh and scroll up. Looks like everybody's good to go here, so we're going to go back and we're going to talk about content. So content really, let me bring this back up to Zoe. I promise, Zoe, I will get you, let me change that. There we go. Content is king, even on Instagram, all right? You know, usually when people think of content, they're thinking video, audio, blog post, article. Now, images are becoming just as powerful because it's going to draw people in to what you're going to be sharing with them. All right, the images are what are going to get people's attention. You want to capture their attention. So it is a form of powerful content. So the big thing with Instagram, and this is what many of you may have heard of the 80-20 rule when it applies to email. I use the 80-20 rule when it comes to using things on Instagram, as well as when I'm posting on Facebook and other social media. And the 80-20 rule goes as such. 80% of your time needs to be, or 80% of your images have to be content images, all right? No pitching. 20% will be promotional images, where you're going to promote an event, or you're going to promote a product, or you're going to promote your opportunity. Now, what I talked about before, you can still put a call to action on your content images, and that's fine. You can just leave that up at the top, okay, because you're just directing them to their bio if you want more information. This is more if you're doing more of a targeted, real specific, you really want them to be going to a, you want them to be paying attention, you want them to be going, like, we have that webinar tonight at 8 o'clock, you want to get them there. So then we're going to do something a little bit more specific with those images. Now, you want to post a minimum of 5 images a day. This is what I found that works for me. Now, these images doesn't have to necessarily be all at once. Okay, you can intersperse them throughout the day. So you could maybe do 1 or 2 images in the morning. You could do maybe 1 or 2 images in the afternoon, 1 or 2 in the evening. And then what's really cool with Iconosquare is that it's a metric that can help you track when your followers are on, and you can try to post your images during those peak times. But if you're working or in bed when everybody tends to be on Instagram, if you still get your images out there, people are still going to see them. And I'll show you a cool trick in just a second of how to kind of get your content back up on the newsfeed so people can see it. So this is a time saver. So if you want to make sure that that image gets to the top, like if you posted some really good stuff in the morning and you want to have that, back up again like around lunchtime, and you don't have the time to like create another image, this is a really good trick, and I'll share that with you in just a second. So what are the types of content that you want to put up? First type is lifestyle content. You know, you want to give people a sneak peek and let them know more about you and what you like to do, what matters to you, what do you find moving, what excites you. So those are going to be things like vacations and concerts, sporting events, inspirational quotes, motivational quotes, books you've been reading. Those are types of lifestyle types of content that people really enjoy. Maybe if you went out to a restaurant that you've never been to before, or it's like your favorite restaurant and you want to share with people, like maybe your favorite dish. But the key though is you don't, with any of this type of content, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be like posting the same images and the same things over and over again, because then Instagram and Facebook are going to think that that's really spammy. So you want to be original and unique, and plus your audience loves uniqueness with your images. All right, they're all, if they kept seeing the same old thing day in and day out, they're going to probably tune you out, because your pictures are going to tell a story. Another type of content you can do, and I love doing this is another great way you can get leads for your business, is tips. Now I do Instagram tips. Now does this mean that you have to do Instagram tips on your Instagram account? No, you do not have to do that. Let's say you're a video marketing expert. You could share video marketing tips and just find an image that matches with the tip. And what I love to do is I love to use the InstaQuote app, because what I like to do with my tips is the tip itself. And this is what I love about InstaQuote, is that I can do like I can have the tip and my call to action, be one color, but I will choose a different color for the tip so it stands out and gives a lot of pop. So then I make sure I have a specific call to action. So I'm always using this type of call to action to learn more on how to, I misspelled that there. It should say grow, not tro. Grow your biz using Instagram. Click on the link in my bio or go here. And so then what I do then is I will also include this whole tip, and I will put it in the caption section. And what that does is that it will, then people can look at that. And I also include the link in my capture because I have this synced to my Instagram account. And so when it goes to my Instagram account, they're not going to be able to see the link in my bio, but I will have the link in there. So I make sure that I put the HTTP semicolon and the 2 forward slashes, and then I get the then I'll have the link in there. So that's what I do for a type of content. So do a tip of the day. You will be amazed at how many leads will start coming in. At first, you will, it'll take some time, but your audience will soon expect those tips. And when you don't, I know my audience, it's like, when did you post the tip? Are am I going to get a tip for Instagram? So I get those messages a lot. So when you start building that up, you can easily get 2 to 3 leads just from putting a tip up for whatever skill set that you have. And then what's really nice with My Lead System Pro is that let's say you're doing video marketing tips, you could be offering the Tube Traffic Mojo as a free training. They do have that free training in the back, so people can learn how to market with videos. So it's really a cool thing. You should all be doing some form of a tip. The other type of content is product use. And this is where I see a lot of people get into some big time, where they're putting things, where people are showing, I'm not going to talk about the company or anything, but you can kind of see where, it might come across your feed where people are showing off their bellies for a weight loss product. And that doesn't really appeal to me too much. So you want to be tasteful with your product use. You want to show different. maybe creative uses of the product. You can show the product in action. Let's say you have a health shake. You could go in there and take pictures of different recipes and concoctions that you've made with that health shake. You know, women, remember the demographic here on Instagram, it's women between the ages of 34 and 54. So if you have a health shake or any type of food recipe to a health-related product, share that. You know, that's going to get a lot of likes, and especially if you want them to click on your link and you can share, get them on your newsletter and you can share recipes. This is where with product use, I have not done this yet, but if you have let's say you're a specific MLM or with a certain, maybe you have something where you can show an actual product demonstration, doing a 15-second video. I have not done a lot of video yet. That's something that'll be on the docket. But there are some professional Instagrammers out there that will create, they'll take like a whole bunch of videos and they'll do like they'll do like 4 or 5 different images with 15-second videos that tell a story. So that's really kind of a cool thing too. So the big thing is just make sure that you are in good taste with Instagram. Now, it's not saying that if you want to show like before and after pictures, that's fine. You may want to just do those once a week or twice a month, but you don't want to do it every single day or showing off different people every single day. Otherwise, that's just going to be way too much. The third type of content is sales promotion. And this is where you're doing events or products, your opportunity, wake-up calls, coaching calls, webinars, or training. Instagram's a great way to do some fantastic and creative promotions. I love doing wake-up calls for MLSP, and I come up with some really cute, I find nostalgic things, and I'll put them up on, put them up to get people to comment. And I get a lot of people coming on the MLSP calls. If you make this fun and playful, people are going to respond to that. So, so find different ways, creative, nostalgia, things that might, inspire beautiful pictures, cute puppies, cute kittens or babies, helping promote the event. And we talked about last week how you could use like Photolab, and they have some great scrapbook templates where you can sit back and you could tell a story over the course of several days about a speaker, and you can build interest up that way. So doing that type of sales promotion, it's pretty fun. Usually when I do a promotion, usually one promotion a day, pretty much throughout the week, would be like the wake up and coaching calls. But then like on Wednesdays, when we have, Tuesdays I'll promote my Instagram, the Hangout here, and I'll also promote the Wednesday webinars with my Lead System Pro, which is my company that I love to promote. And I also, if there's like a big product launch with MLSP, I'll make sure that when I'm doing my content, I will add a few more, I'll post more images, and I'll try to balance that between content and promotion, so it doesn't look like it's, again, you're doing heavy pitching, but you're attracting. So those are the 4 really big types of content creation that I really love to do, and this is where people really respond to my images. I usually can get, when I first started out, it was about maybe 15 to 20 likes per image. I'm getting up now, where I think the best I had was about maybe 80 likes, but it doesn't always have to be where the more likes you have, the more leads you're going to get. It's just going to be, if you're getting your stuff out there, sometimes, I've had more leads where I've only had like maybe 20 likes, and I could have had, you know, one image that had like, you know, 80 or 90 likes, and I got no leads from that. So, you know, it all depends, you know, what we have in you know, and how you track. Beforehand, I never put a call to action on some of my inspirational or motivational sayings, like I had that up where the photo map was, and I couldn't, you know, so I never really got those people to really check out my bio for more training. Whereas when I had like a specific call to action on my Instagram tips. But now that I have, I'm putting that up there in the photo map, I'm seeing more leads, and they're more high quality leads. And we're going to be talking about in the weeks ahead how you can set up like your funnel and tracking systems so you know how to do, you know, so you know which images and that are getting the leads for you. So the homework that I want you guys to do, and I always love doing homework for you guys, is so you get in the habit of taking action. So what I want you to do is start creating content images. Post a minimum of at least 5 images a day, following the 80-20 rule. So if you're doing 5 images a day, that's usually 4 high-quality content, 1 promotion. Make sure your images are tasteful but creative. And then next week, we're going to be talking about, okay, you have these images. How are you going to start breaking the ice? Because we always talked about that capture. You know, the purpose of Instagram is to capture people's attention. So now that you've captured their attention, how are you going to get them to like you, know you like you, and get them to sign up to, you know, get that exposure, get them to your opportunity or sell them your product or get them on your list. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. So I'm going to go back over here to the chat. Is there any questions? I know we kind of ran through things here real quick. And like I said, we'll have this up on the on the replay. And now my Zoe does not want to come up and see. Do you want to come up, Zoe? Want to come here? Want to come up and want to say hi to everybody? I promise. Come here. Nope. Nope, Zoe does not want to come up. She's just a little diva. But one of these days I will get her up on she can watch herself on the screen. Are you going to come up now? Okay. No? All right. Oh, she's just being silly today. All right. I'm looking here. It looks like everybody is just fine with what we have here. So I know I kind of went through things fast, but you know, just use your best common sense, guys, when you're creating your content. That's the big thing. Oh, now you want to come up. All right, come here. You want to say hi? Okay. This is Zoe, everybody. Zoe, want to say hi? Want to say hi? Say hi. Yes, she is 7 years old. She is a Sable Party Mix Cocker Spaniel. And so yep, she's likes looking at herself on TV here. Don't you? Yes, you are just adorable. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody? Yep, she's wagging her tail. Okay, there you go, Zoe. All right. So with that said, I'm going to sign off. And remember, guys, be on the webinar in 25 minutes for Diane Hockman and her husband Larry. They're going to talk about some super cool mind exercises to help you overcome any limiting beliefs that can get you ready and raring to go to take action and get massive results in your business. So with that said, thank you, Vicki. Yes, she's a precious little one. So with that said, have a good night, everybody, and we will see you next week. Oh, and I want to tell you, too, I am working on, April Marie Tucker said she would love to come out one of these days, and I'm going to do like an interview with her. on some other types of Instagram do's and don'ts. So we're just kind of working on scheduling and everything. So hopefully when I get more details, then I will make sure that I'll give you guys a heads up so you can bring your teams to come to the webinar. And then I'll be interviewing her so that she can share all of her goodies. So with that said, have a good night, everybody, and I will see you next week.